You were born in Subaru, a neighborhood so grimy, so loud and so stabby that even rats wear sandals for protection. Your mother sells herbs. The legal kind, and the not-so-legal kind, depending on who's asking and how much denarii they're holding. Your father, let's say, he's on an extended vacation in the afterlife or maybe in a Roman jail for stealing a senator's toga, in a debt. By 7, you're chasing rats for dinner, and not metaphorically. Actual rats, big ones, some with names and territory. You lose your first fight against one named Lucius. He bites you, you cry. He scurries off with your dinner. At 9, you try to steal a half-eaten fig from an old woman. She breaks a stool over your head. That's when you learn every Roman has a weapon. But then, one day, everything changes. You try to swipe a loaf of bread. Very original. The baker screams. A centurion grabs you by the ear and laughs. You've got guts, little snot. He grins. How'd you like to put those guts to use in the arena? Spoiler. It wasn't a real question. You're sold to a ludus, a gladiator training school. Because apparently, that's what happens when you try to eat. You're now property, legally, officially, like a goat. Or a bench. The lanista, your new boss, is a retired gladiator who smells like expired wine and broken dreams. He renames you Felix, Latin for lucky. Your daily routine is simple. Wake up before the sun. Eat mush. Train until bones ache. Get yelled at. Get punched again. Sleep in a room that smells like defeat. One guy named Varro tells you about his dream, to fight in the Colosseum and win his freedom. You tell him your dream is to eat cheese again. He laughs, then gets smacked for talking. You're all brothers now. Kind of, except with more punching. You're 15 when it happens. They tell you to suit up. You ask where you're going. They don't answer. They just hand you a shield, a short sword, and a helmet that smells like dead squirrel. You step into the arena, not the Colosseum. Don't get cocky. This is some third-tier pit in Capua, surrounded by drunks, gamblers, and one guy selling mystery meat on a stick. Your opponent is a Thracian, half-blind, all rage. He wields a curved sword and a trident as tall as your career prospects. You panic. He charges. You squeal. He swings. You duck. Not because you're skilled. You tripped, but as you fall, your sword goes up and hits something soft. He drops. The crowd gasps. You win. You cry. The lanista slaps the tears off your face. We don't cry in the arena, he says. That's what bards do. Are you a bard? You shake your head. He nods. Then bleed like a man. They paint your name on a piece of broken wood and hang it on a wall. It's misspelled, but that doesn't matter. What matters is, you fought, you survived. You now get extra beans and a slightly less awful sleeping spot. Your back still hurts, your feet still bleed, but your heart, it pounds, not from fear, from the taste of something new. Victory, you start to get a rhythm. Train, fight, bleed. Train harder, survive. You even develop a signature move, the scream and swing. It's not graceful, but it works. The lanista watches, nods, grunts. Felix might live long enough to die somewhere important, he mutters. That's the highest praise you've ever gotten, and it feels good. You've now survived 5 fights. 3 were against actual gladiators. 1 was against a starving bear with a limp, and 1 was just a drunk merchant who wandered into the arena by accident. You still had to kill him. Apparently, crowd expectations don't make exceptions for confused sandal vendors. The other gladiators start calling you Felix the Screamer. Not exactly intimidating, but better than Toilet Boy, which was your first nickname after puking during training. You gain muscle, you gain scars, you gain something that almost looks like confidence. Or is it just hunger again? Hard to tell anymore. One morning, your lanista kicks over your water bucket and shouts, "Felix, pack up, we're going to Rome." Your stomach drops. Rome. The beating, golden, vomit-covered heart of the empire. Home of marble statues, corrupt senators, and the Colosseum, the biggest murder theater in human history. You ride with your fellow gladiators in a cramped cart that smells like blood and socks. When the Colosseum comes into view, even the veterans go quiet. It's massive, it's loud, it breathes like a monster. You enter the underbelly, the Hippodrome. It's dark, it's damp, it's full of caged beasts, nervous men, and that one guy who keeps praying to every god just in case. The air smells like fear, sweat, and lions. Especially lions. You're shoved into shiny new armor. It doesn't fit. It cuts your shoulder. You can't turn your head. Perfect. Outside, 50,000 Romans scream for blood. The emperor is present, waving like he knows what it's like to get a spear through the thigh. You're paired against a Retiarius, the net and trident guy. He's tall, he's fast. He looks like he eats smaller gladiators for breakfast. You have a short sword and a shield with a dent the size of regret. The gate opens. Sunlight hits your face. Your eyes burn. Your legs shake. You step into the arena. "Felix the Screamer," the announcer roars. The crowd laughs. Great. The Retiarius circles you like a shark with a net. He swings. You block. He kicks sand in your eyes. You scream, obviously. The crowd loves it. You hear cheering, but not for you. Your opponent throws his net. You duck, purely out of panic. And it misses. He lunges with his trident. You roll, stab wildly, and land a hit. Not fatal, but enough to draw blood. The crowd roars. Blood always wins them over. He charges again. You scream. He hesitates, confused. You take the chance and slam your shield into his gut. He stumbles, you stab, he drops, you're standing, he's not. The crowd looks to the emperor. The emperor gives a thumbs up. You breathe, you live. They chant your name. Okay, they chant Screamer, but close enough. You get a new nickname, Felix the Mad Dog. Better, you're given extra wine, a better sleeping mat, and a slice of fish. Luxury. Other lanistas start asking for you in matchups. Your face is painted on wooden coins. You get fan letters, most of them weird. You meet nobles. Some want you to endorse their sandals. Others want to own you. One senator offers to buy you for 5,000 denarii. Your lanista laughs and says, "This one screams too well. He's staying." You smile. But deep down, something's changing. You've killed 17 men. Some screamed, some cried, some just stared at you like they weren't even there anymore. You stare at your sword longer than necessary. You used to scream out of fear. Now, you do it because it works, but it doesn't feel right anymore. One night, you walk past a mirror in the Hippodrome. For a second, you don't recognize yourself. Who is this man with scars, dead eyes, and a body built for killing? You miss Cato, your one-eyed dog. You miss trash fires. You miss street fights that didn't end in death. You miss being someone, anyone else. Then one day, after a particularly gruesome match, the crowd loses its mind. You defeated a champion named Nero the Mountain. They call it your greatest performance. The emperor himself, bored and wine-drunk, waves his hand and says, "Felix, you amuse me. Let the screamer go free." You blink. Did that just happen? Your lanista confirms it. You're given a wooden sword, a rudis, the symbol of a free man. No more training, no more chains, no more killing. You walk out of the arena, sunlight on your face, heart pounding. You're free. You try normal life. You get a job guarding a tavern. You break up fights. You still scream sometimes. It's a habit now. At night, you sit outside, stare at the stars, and think about Subura, about your dog, about the men you fought, and about the boy who tripped and stabbed his way to survival. You are Felix, lucky, and somehow still breathing.